Ganondorf, a name that brings to mind images of shadowed castles, relentless armies, and a figure cloaked in an aura of both menace and mystique. Within the Legend of Zelda series, he is the ultimate antagonist, a dark force seemingly driven by a pure, unbridled hunger for power and domination. But what if there's more to his malice than meets the eye? Like any great villain, Ganondorf is not solely defined by his acts of terror and conquest. Beneath his fearsome exterior lies a story marked by hardship, cultural pride, and a bitter resentment born from generations of struggle. What drove this once hopeful leader to become the greatest threat to Hyrule? Today, we'll dive deeper into Ganondorf's past, unraveling his motivations, his tragic transformation, and the chilling irony of his ultimate fate. Ganondorf's story begins in the arid deserts of Hyrule, within the secluded Gerudo Valley. Born to the Gerudo tribe, a fierce and resilient group comprised almost entirely of women, he was fated for a unique destiny. By tradition, a male is born to the Gerudo only once every century, and that male is prophesied to become their king. Ganondorf's very birth was treated as an event of this destiny. Raised within this isolated yet proud culture, he grew up understanding the hardships of desert life. Survival is a daily battle, and resources are scarce. The Gerudo, often marginalised and treated as outsiders by the Hylian monarchy, harboured their own legacy of pride, strength, and resistance. They were also forced to rely on the barren sands for sustenance, while the Hylians enjoyed lush landscapes and abundant resources. This disparity became a core part of Ganondorf's worldview. There was something about Ganondorf that went beyond his birthright as Gerudo King. His remarkable physical strength, magical abilities, and innate connection to the Triforce were all traits that set him apart, leading to theories that his heritage was more than it appeared. Some speculate that Ganondorf was not purely Gerudo by blood, that he might carry Hylian or even divine ancestry. Others whisper of a darker origin, suggesting he was a gift or instrument of malevolent forces bent on disrupting Hyrule's balance. Whether a true Gerudo or a figure guided by destiny's shadowed hand, Ganondorf was raised as a leader with a purpose far beyond survival. He was groomed to challenge the status quo. Raised by the powerful Gerudo witches, Kuume and Kutake, Ganondorf received an upbringing steeped in strategy, sorcery, and a vision of Hyrule not as it was, but as it could be. Kuume and Kutake trained him not only in combat, but also in political cunning, filling his mind with tales of the Gerudo's forgotten glory and injustices they had suffered at the hands of Hyrule's ruling class. In his youth, Ganondorf learned not just of the Gerudo's strength, but of the subtle yet profound discrimination that kept them in the desert shadows. Stories of long-lost battles, Gerudo heroes erased from history, and powerful women whose legacies were swallowed by time, feeding his growing resentment against the rest of Hyrule. Ganondorf's original motivations run far deeper than a thirst for conquest. In his eyes, Hyrule was built on a foundation of oppression. The Hylian monarchy, under the divine favour of the gods, held dominance over lands of prosperity, while his people endured an impoverished existence in the desert. To Ganondorf, this was not an accident of fate, but a direct consequence of a world built to benefit the Hylians while forcing the Gerudo into exile. The gods, the Hylian royals, the Triforce, or in this new timeline, the secret stones of the Zonai, each, in Ganondorf's view, symbolised an ancient hierarchy that existed to keep him and his people downtrodden. His quest for the stones began not as a mere act of greed, but as a weapon, in his fight for justice. The secret stones of the Zonai represented the power to shift Hyrule's balance, to finally grant his people the standing they deserved.
The secret stone of the Zonai. How interesting.
To him, Hyrule's established order was a system ripe for revolution, and he was the rightful agent of that change. As he pursued this goal, something began to shift. What started as a mission to uplift his people began to warp, each step toward power corrupting his initial intentions. Ganondorf's journey began with ideals, but slowly became infected with the allure of control. His mind became consumed with the notion that only he, with his strength, intellect, and sense of divine justice, could realize a Hyrule free of its past inequities. His pursuit turned into an obsession, not just with justice, but with reshaping reality itself. As he acquired more power, his noble mission twisted, transforming his drive for liberation into a consuming desire for supremacy.
Finally, it is mine!
Ganondorf's fall from liberator to tyrant was not an abrupt turn, but a gradual, dark evolution. In the beginning, he took the throne with promises of a better future for the Gerudo, seeking to challenge the forces that had kept them marginalised. Yet, as his influence expanded, so did his lust for control.
I can feel my strength surging.
His power turned him into a figure who once rebelled against oppression, but became an oppressor himself. He demanded loyalty not only from the Gerudo, but from all of Hyrule, seeking to bend the very essence of the land to his will. Ganondorf's betrayal of the Hylian monarchy marked the first clear shift in his transformation. Initially, he feigned loyalty, bowing to Hyrule's rulers, but as soon as the opportunity arose, he seized control and declared his reign of terror. Consumed by his ambitions, he lost sight of the ideals he once fought for, his vision of a united Hyrule collapsing into one of total domination. This tragic arc offers a cautionary tale. In his quest to liberate his people, Ganondorf's morality eroded. He became a shadow of what he might have been, a reminder that even the most righteous cause can lead to ruin when stripped of empathy and tempered wisdom.
That is what a king must do.
His story is symptomatic of a powerful universal truth. Power is a double-edged sword, capable of corrupting even those with noble intentions. In Ganondorf's case, his desire to unite Hyrule under a fair rule turned into a nightmare of oppression and torture.
Do not look away.
He had the potential to be a visionary leader, a unifier who broke the cycle of oppression rather than perpetuating it. In another world, Ganondorf could have been celebrated as a hero, a leader who fostered unity between Hyrule's diverse people. Ganondorf's story is compelling because of this lost potential. He represents a hero who could have been, a figure with the ability to create true equality. Instead, his obsession with power turned him into a tyrant he once loathed.
My mind, everything. Sacrifice it all to destroy you and cast this world into eternal night.
Even the most just causes can be corrupted. Ganondorf's legacy stands as a warning against the seduction of relentless desire. In the end, The ruins of his ambition are a tragic testament to what might have been, a symbol of lost potential, and that sometimes the greatest villains are those who lose sight of their purpose in the pursuit of power.